On this week's episode of What's Up Weekly, like Katy Perry said, it's hot, then it's cold. We have more on the polar vortex storming into Bloomington.
And we are the champions. Find out how one of IU's team is claiming yet another victory. What's Up Weekly starts now.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of What's Up Weekly. I'm Kendall Yankosky.
And I'm Emilia.
Who's ready to pull out the shorts? Because I know I am. Turns out that will not be possible anytime soon with this weather coming. Emilia got a closer look at what to expect for the next couple of days.
You may think the end of January means that you can start taking off some layers, but with this upcoming week's forecast, you're going to be adding more instead. According to the National Weather Service, we are expected to have sunshine, rain, and snow all throughout the week with a high of 50 and a low of 2 degrees. This may be confusing for your closets and your awareness of black ice. With the low temperatures at night, the ice settles to make for slick roads and slippery sidewalks. Bloomington snowplows take the streets around the clock to make sure everyone has a safe commute in the morning, but sometimes they miss some spots. By leaving your home 10 to 15 minutes earlier in the morning, it will make for a safe commute to work or school.
With the changing temperatures happening in Bloomington this week, make sure you're prepared by wearing extra layers, especially gloves, keeping your windshield wipers up if you have a car, and checking the weather app for all your weather updates.
Come Thursday, this weather is said to cause many class cancellations since so many students walk to class. So be sure to check your emails because you might get lucky and have a nice warm day inside, catching up on homework or relaxing in front of the television. For What's Up Weekly, I'm Emilia.
I know I'm very sick of the cold weather and bundling up to go to class and everything.
I feel like the layers, I'm like a sauna. When I take off my jacket, I'm tired of it. I'm so tired of it.
Yeah.
IU's very own brought back another national championship for a grand total of 6 times since 2012. The all-girl cheerleading squad became a national champions in 2012, 2013, 2014, 2016, 2017, and now 2019. At the Wide World of Sports complex in the Walt Disney World Resort down in Florida, the Hoosiers competed against the most prestigious schools across the country. They came out on top with San Diego State University, Florida State University, the University of Oklahoma, and the University of South Florida following behind the Hoosiers. From all of us here at IUS TV, congratulations, and we cannot wait to see what's next for you all. Today we have a comedian in studio, Grace Brazzi, a junior here at IU. She is a part of Ladies Night Comedy, a student organization on campus. She has officially been a part of it for a year, and I just went to one of her shows, and let's just say I had a blast for sure. Please welcome to the show, Grace.
Welcome, Grace. So tell us, how did you get started in comedy?
Okay, well, I always did theater in middle school and high school, and I really enjoyed being the comic relief characters. I never really cared to be like the lead as long as it was kind of the most outrageous. So
Yeah.
comedy kind of always made sense. And then my sophomore year, I worked at the Comedy Attic here in Bloomington, and I met a girl who was in Ladies Night Comedy who told me to audition. The auditions were that weekend, made it in, and then from then just started doing stand-up and sketch and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, what are your shows like since I've been to one of them? Give a little description of like how they are.
Well, Ladies Night, you could probably guess by the name, it's all women. So it's all girls, which is fun. And in the past, it used to be a lot more like half and half sketch and stand-up, but now I would say it's like 70-30 stand-up and sketch comedy. So we usually each do around 5 minutes. I always go way longer than 5 minutes, not purposely, but and then yeah, it's just different. However, but it's just an hour. It's always free, usually in Valentine, which is great.
Yes.
Beautiful lighting in there. But yeah, it's just usually a lot of fun, honestly.
Yeah.
in a
So
word.
anyone can go and watch the shows. How does someone get involved in actually being a comedian on the show?
Well,
not
next
the show.
Sunday we have auditions.
Alright.
So if you follow any of our Instagrams, I think everything is usually just Ladies Night Comedy IU, I think is the handles. Just to see when those are, like where they are. I think it's probably in the Union, but but yeah, you can come on audition, and the auditions are like, you don't need to be a comedian, obviously, to join, because that's how you start, I guess. But we usually have you read through a couple sketches and then tell a funny story, which is kind of like the stand-up portion of that. But you don't have to really do either. If like you didn't want to do stand-up, you don't have to. But yeah, come and audition.
Gotcha. What's some advice for someone who would be nervous trying to audition, like me? Like if I was so funny, but just
yeah, I think you just have to like not think that much about it. I know that sounds kind of weird, but I feel like when I went to audition, I was like really trying to make every single thing I said funny, which is kind of unnecessary. You really just have to come in and kind of be willing to act like an idiot.
I could do that.
Yeah, which is fun.
Kendall would know.
But also just like, I think a big thing in improv, which we don't do improv. I've never done improv in my life, but like yes and is a big thing. You just have to be ready to do whatever and support your fellow comedians.
Heck yeah.
So I think you actually have a stand-up for us, don't you?
Yes.
All right, we can't wait to see it.
Great.
And coming up after the break, we have everything trending from Ted Bundy to the Super Bowl with trending topics.
Also, Grace will be having us in tears with her comedy set, so stay with us.
To start off trending topics, we have something that has gone viral close to home. Here on IU's campus, one student, Josh Bromberg, has created a Change.org petition to cancel school this Wednesday.
His reasoning, temperatures are going to be diving to wind chills below -20 degrees. His petition has over 26,000 signatures so far and has continued climbing since launch just last night.
Yeah, and we're standing here today and school has been canceled for Wednesday. And I actually talked to Josh this morning and he was hoping for that outcome. So glad to see it worked out for him and all of the students.
I signed that petition 3 times. Don't tell anybody.
My word. And also buzzing on campus, controversies about the new Ted Bundy documentary and movie. Everyone, including myself, has been binge watching the new Netflix series, Conversations with the Killer, the Ted Bundy tapes.
But what students are mostly paying attention to is Bundy's apparent charm and charisma. Zac Efron is playing Bundy in the film, extremely wicked, shockingly evil, and vile. It premiered at Sundance Film Festival, but is coming to theaters soon, and there's controversy over whether or not he's just too hot to be preparing a serial murderer and a rapist.
Now, I do see where they're coming from, like it's Zac Efron, but I do think that's what Ted Bundy was known for, was his charm, so I see what they're going for.
I didn't even know this was a thing, so I'm definitely going to watch it because Efron is just bae.
Yeah. And on a more national level, the Super Bowl commercials have officially started to be released. And for Pepsi, theirs include celebs Cardi B and Steve Carell.
I watched the commercial, and I have to say I liked it. It was lighthearted and definitely relatable and much better than Kendall Jenner's controversial previous Pepsi commercial.
Yes, a lot better than that one.
For sure.
And now we have the one and only Grace Braze to give us a laugh to end our show. Take it away, Grace.
So excited to be here doing my first late night set in front of my biggest crowd ever. I'm used to doing this in front of at least maybe 5 more people, so this is exciting, but this was one of my first sets, I guess. But I really think, you know, like in this political climate and also just throughout the entire history of the universe, being a feminist is kind of like an important thing. And recently I've been trying to reflect, you know, like what have I done that's feminist? Like what have I provided for this world? And I realized like kind of the most feminist thing I've ever done was when I was 12, which is like very impressive and also like extremely rare. So thank you, hold the applause till the end. But the big laughs in the room, it's exciting. But yeah, it was in my gym class. I had a gym teacher who was really young, very immature, I don't know if you can tell in this great lighting. I'm very curvaceous. I did go through puberty like extremely early, so we were the same height, which really caused a lot of issues. And also, I'm very athletic, so I was the quarterback. And he was a bit of a flirt, which, like, aside from the legal issues of that, it was just like uncomfortable because we were like kind of aggressively ugly at the time. It was very strange, but you know, I'm gearing up to throw the ball, and usually I'm in a large room, so I make a joke about hearing someone say like that I have really good form, but it doesn't work. So Albert and Emilia said that. Thank you. Yes, I do have amazing form. If it wasn't for that knee injury in 07, you know, I'd probably be in the NFL right now. Tom Brady, eat your heart out, you know. But I'm not. And before I was going to make like the professional throw that follows, he knocked it out of my hand, which was like really rude. But I also did have a bit of reputation at 12 years old that I was very aggressive. I don't know really if it was like an act of protest against like them being men and the patriarchy, but I would kind of like kick and punch all the boys in my grade for truly no reason. I also think maybe I was working on like my physical comedy at the time, but I did have this reputation, and he so clearly was not aware of it. And he slapped the ball out of my hand like before I could throw it. And so my first instinct was to just smack him across the face. So I did do that, and I did. He was not really that happy about it. At first, you know, everyone's laughing, like they're like, yeah, so excited. I'm kind of like going like this, expected to be hoisted into the air, and everyone's like, hey, super excited. But he wasn't feeling the same way, and he said something along the lines of like, that was the most insulting thing anyone's ever done to me, or I can't really remember. But I did get kicked out of class, I got a detention, you know, but I don't regret it at all, you know, like that is the most radical feminist thing I've ever done so far, so I'm proud of it. But anyway, thank you, it was a little taste. That was short.
That was so good.
Thanks.
Thank you so much for coming in, Grace. And I understand that Ladies First has their auditions.
Ladies Night, yes.
Ladies
yeah,
Night,
that.
sorry.
Shout out to Ladies First, acapella group, I think. Go see them too, we love women.
Okay, Ladies Night has their auditions February 3rd in the Union, so check it out. And that's what's up this week. Tune in next week for more local and entertainment news.
Don't forget to follow us on social media. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at IUSTV News, and follow us on Twitter at IUSTV.
For What's Up Weekly, I'm Kendall Yankosky.
And I'm Emilia Miles. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.